Parliament's Ethics Committee has recommended that Deputy President Paul Mashatile be formally reprimanded and fined an amount of 10,000 rand for failing to declare a diamond given to his wife. Businessman and alleged diamond investment fraudster Louis Liebenberg gifted this rock. Now, the committee says Mashatile should have disclosed it in the confidential section of Parliament's register as required by the Ethics Code. Newzroom Afrika's senior reporter, Qaanitah Hunter, joining us now. Qaanitah, good evening to you. It just doesn't stop, does it? This diamond, what do we know about it, and when may it have been gifted to the Deputy President's wife?
This diamond was disclosed or this gift of a diamond given to Deputy President Paul Mashatile's wife, Hlumile, in October 2023, was part of explosive evidence presented by the state in the case against Louis Liebenberg. It's a 22-page affidavit that the state advanced, and in that, his head of security at the time filed an affidavit where he said that he would go and do favors and give gifts and money exchanges to various politicians. And he sang like a canary at the time. And in that disclosure, we found out that Deputy President Paul Mashatile's home in Waterfall was given a visit by this individual on behalf of Liebenberg. We know that Liebenberg is a benefactor of former President Jacob Zuma. He's paid for litigation. He's been very vocal about it. And that when this matter was disclosed in court, that's when questions were asked to the office of the Deputy President, who said he didn't know why this gift was given to his wife, and he promised to have returned this particular diamond. Now, the worth of the diamond, whether it's 1 carat, 5 carat, we don't know what it is.
That's part of what the people are probably interested to know, as to just how much is this diamond?
So there's two questions that come. Is that, what was Liebenberg doing? Was this an extension of trying to buy political cover, to evade accountability when it came to his business dealings that went south? And the second part of it is, what did he expect from the Deputy President in return for this diamond? And so the Deputy President told Parliament that he did not declare it because he was waiting to get the valuation of it. I think it's quite easy to get a valuation of a diamond, but that diamond is now sitting with the National Prosecuting Authority because it is evidence in the criminal case against Liebenberg, where the state has advanced a case. He's facing more than 40 charges, fraud, corruption, you can name them, in relation to a diamond Ponzi scheme of sort. And he is obviously, that trial is ongoing. But the Deputy President did not make that disclosure. And it comes obviously at a time where he's under fire for other disclosures that he made.
And that's exactly what I want to qualify, because I opened by saying it doesn't stop, does it? Let me qualify that. The issues around Deputy President Paul Mashatile simply do not stop, because belatedly he has now declared 3 properties, but 2 of which are the subject of media attention. You then have another story this morning on News 24, where one of his aides is seen at a party in September of 2023, and whose party was it? Edwin Sodi. And who was in that party? Vusumuzi Kat Matlala. This is the person who now sits at Khosimampuru prison. What is going on around Deputy President Paul Mashatile, and at which point is he going to come out and address these matters?
Yeah, so there is a strong focus and a zooming in on the nexus around him. His children, his allies, all of whom have been accused of benefiting improperly in some ways. The Deputy President has been a public servant, and if you look at the declarations that he made, he has no other income. He gets a salary and that's it. He doesn't own a house that he gets a rental property from, or rental income from. He gets no other money. So from the time he was a civil, MP, an MPL, an MEC, a premier, a minister, now deputy president. He's only earned his state income. And so the controversies around his children and their purchase of these palatial mansions in Waterfall that he lives in and in Cape Town. He had previously denied that he resides in that home in Constantia. He has now said it's a family home, and it is, you know, the business. It's as a result of his son-in-law being a very successful businessman. I would assume that he would make far more than 29 million rand if he can afford to buy a home in that range. And so he had come out and said, well, this is a family home. I'm going to declare it to Parliament, having previously said, no, that's not my home. And I think he was trying to be cautious in that regard because he had come under fire previously for not declaring the benefit he had from this. Now, the question is, should his son-in-law be able to do business and buy homes that he can live in? Absolutely. The question is that the source of that funding is the subject of a Hawks probe, and whether or not that money comes from state tenders. And because South Africa comes from an era of state capture, the sensitivity around Paul Mashatile is not misplaced, because we had seen a bona fide modus operandi in state capture with the kids, the wives, the associates of politicians being used as the vehicles for corruption. And so the question really is not about whether or not he deserves to stay in these houses or not, or whether it becomes a policing of black wealth or not. It is a question about, is the close circle around the deputy president benefiting from his proximity to him as a result of his position in the state? And that is where the controversy is. And just to add, Goli, this particular matter about the diamond was referred by Action SA to the public protector earlier this year, and we haven't yet gotten a response on that. So I think we will have to follow up with the public protector to say, did she probe that matter and what are her findings?
And I suppose it is worth also pointing out, Qaanitah, that this current administration, having come from the era of state capture, it came on the ticket of clean governance. And so where are we as far as that is concerned? It's not a question for you. It's a question for the man who leads this administration, President Ramaphosa. Some people may say it's unfair. This should be answered by Deputy President Paul Mashatile, but we know that he serves at the pleasure of the President.